never had one.
Brown, not blood, though.
Fantastic. Remember, zombies are real.
No matter what you see tonight.
Exactly. We'll see how Colin gets on later in the show. But before all of that, did you know Albert Einstein went to Glasgow Uni?
Did he really?
Kinda.
Yeah, he sort of. Well, we went along to the uni to find out more about Glasgow's connection to one of the world's greatest scientists.
The University of Glasgow, on the occasion of Commemoration Day, did honour yesterday to a number of distinguished men who have contributed to human knowledge and well-being by conferring upon them honorary degrees in divinity and in law. The group of graduates, numbering 17, included Professor Einstein and Monsieur Harriot. So a few years ago, the university wrote a blog post basically wishing Einstein a happy birthday. He turned big 133. And we looked at these items, and basically now the 82nd anniversary of his graduation in 1933, so we decided to take these items out again just to have a little look. It's an original program from his graduation, as well as the original newspaper clipping and the photograph. Yes. Now, the items are very important to the university. They're part of our proud history of Gilmore Hill campus, and as well as our links with notable people in history. The university decided to give Einstein a degree in recognition of his contribution to the field of physics. It's actually quite interesting because they're going to confer the degree upon him in 1932, and he couldn't make it. He was busy. So he made time in his schedule to come in 1933, so this is why he actually came in 1933 instead of 1932. So he graduated on the 21st of June. So on the 20th of June, he gave the first Gibson Lecture. The Gibson Lecture is named in recognition of George Gibson, who was professor of mathematics. It was quite lovely, quite a big deal that he gave that first lecture. And actually that same day, we have reminiscences from the professor of mathematics, Thomas Murray McRobert, his wife, Sandy McRobert, and in her memoirs, as it were, living at the square in number 10, she recalls giving a large tea party in Einstein's honor. So it was actually quite a nice little note. It's just sort of a, oh, by the way, Einstein came by for tea. But in reality, you know, he came, gave this lovely lecture, and then the next day he graduated. Newspapers at the time described Einstein, as well as his other fellow graduates, as men of world distinction. So it was quite a big deal. So it made a nice splash in the headlines. So the photograph is, sadly in a way, our only photograph of Einstein during his graduation ceremony. It's from our John S. Allison collection. And with him are his fellow graduates of the Right Honourable Sir Robert Stevenson Horne, Edward of Harriet, and Harry Lumsden. In addition to Einstein being involved with the university during his graduation, we also have a lovely letter that he wrote turning down the opportunity to be one of the university's rectors. A student wrote to him asking if he would like to run in the election, and he very politely declined. It's quite an interesting letter because it's written on a typewriter, and there are a few spelling mistakes. We don't know who wrote it, if it was his secretary who wrote it or he wrote it, but little spelling mistakes, like instead of saying you must, yeah, he wrote mist, and intellectual was spelt with one L instead of two, so which is pretty funny, but that's okay. I think it just sort of adds to his personality. I think anytime your work is recognized by an institution, centers of higher education, I think personally that's quite an honor. He laid the foundation for basically all of our modern discoveries today. His name is iconic, and it's to be an Einstein. He did do such wonderful contributions to the field of physics that I think is absolutely warranted.
We've got plenty of music on tonight's show, starting with the wonderful Rod Thomas, otherwise known as Bright Light, who's in town supporting none other than Elton John.
Wow. Welcome to the Riverside show, first.